Peace, family. So I'm back with another one. Today what I want to do is I want to talk to my chosen ones about how they are going out their way to try and sabotage you and to get you to lower your vibration. And also to accept them for who they are and where they are at right now, currently, in today's society and in their life. And what kind of dove me into the subject today was nature, out here meditating, life, and just processing as always. And this one kind of just walked into my door and no knockage or anything, So recently, I've had several situations, but y'all know I like to start with current examples in my life. And I had one of my cousins that I was communicating, engaging with. She's a female. She was always one of my cousins back in the day that when I lived in New York, if I had an issue with a female, I can call my cousin, she gonna pull up, she gonna put them beaters on them. She is known for using them hands and them tools, you know what I mean? But this how she just always been, just based off of how life had put her in survival mode pretty early, and some of the things that was done to her, when she wasn't responsible for the environments she was in. But she had a situation a while ago where I had mentioned it before in here, where it was like all in the matter of 2 years, 1 year, I want to say, somewhere between that time span. I had one cousin catch a body, they sent somebody on to their next journey. Then I had another cousin who got a headshot and he got sent on to his next journey. So the way life has been set up for me, I just, it's just always all kind of obstacles and things transpiring outside of me. But when she was going through this real hard time, right, because she had sent her ex-guy on to his next journey, so she had to do like a little bit of time in the jail and stuff. She ended up getting the case thrown out because it was like domestic violence, and she was left to no other option. But while she was in the jail and stuff, right, she knows she could call me, she could talk to me. When she came home, she was staying a couple states away. We from New York, but she was down in Georgia. I'm in Virginia. And she was on house arrest, so she had to ankle monitor and all that stuff. But she could call me whenever she wanted to. Some days she would call me at 2:30, 3:30 in the AM. You know what I mean? She may call me when she first getting up, midday. It didn't matter. I was always making myself available for her. You know what I mean? So the way I operate is, we don't always need a money compensation. Sometimes you just need to know that someone is there. And I had to do 3 years myself, so I already understand the process of being in there. But she's out on bond, so I just know the concept of just feeling abandoned. Even if you're not abandoned, people just naturally didn't give a fuck anyway. So it really was no abandonment. It was just a reality check. You know what I mean? And we used to have our little back and forths a little bit when we would have our phone conversations and stuff like this. And I remember like one of our last conversations we had, she was like real aggressive with me in that masculine energy, and I was trying to explain to her that these are not our natural states that we in. Yes, we have our survival modes where you gotta make sure that your spirit, your body is being protected, and you trying to make the best decision for you to be able to see the next day. But we family. You don't have to talk to me like a regular nigga out here on the street. And that's one thing that I was not okay with. And she was almost like trying to transition me to say like, my daughter is gonna be walking in similar shoes, or she gonna be weak. For some reason, my cousin and I ran into a lot of females. They feel as though when they have to do things themselves or make survival mode decisions, that means they're strong. No, that just means that you was able to go into survival mode and do what you had to do. That is not the definition of strength for a female, just like the definition of strength for a man would be completely different. And she's highly intuitive and tapped in, like she is knowledgeable. It's just she has the wrong information. So not all of it, but like 40% of it is wrong. She got a good 60% that's pretty tapped in, you know. So that's why I always gave it space and opportunity there. But our conversation was going south when we was talking, and it really started going south when I don't like when people talk over top of me, because I don't talk over top of people, especially when we're having serious conversations. Like, you need to learn how to shut the fuck up, listen to what's being said so you can respond appropriately. The same way I shut the fuck up and I listen so I could respond appropriately. I've lost my starting points and things that I wanted to address millions of times because I'm listening intuitively, attentively. I'm trying to be as detailed as possible when I'm engaging and listening, so that way I can respond appropriately. Long story short, we end up getting off the phone, and when we got off the phone around that time, I end up just blocking her because the energy was so weird. I don't know why my focus is so blurry right now. Probably because we got this shade and this sun doing this thing right here, because I really haven't been moving that much. Anyways, I ended up getting off the phone and blocking her around that time. So when I had blocked her, I hadn't talked to her. It had been some months since I had talked to her. But she had reached out to me yesterday, and she was like, yeah, what's up, cuzzo? You know I love you. I've been trying to reach you and find you. You know what I mean? It took me a long time. You know, I had to go through a lot of different avenues to try to get your number because you blocked my other number. And I had explained to her why I had blocked her number. Like, cuzzo, like, that energy that you've been giving other people, I'm not responsible for that shit, and I'm not gonna tolerate it. I had a lot of things already going on in my own space, and I had eliminated a lot of beings around me. I cut off a lot of beings. I stopped communicating, engaging with a lot of beings. So I wasn't just gonna allow somebody who say their family to come back in and start being witchy to my vibration or doing things that's disrespectful, and then I'm supposed to take it as, oh, that's who they are. Fuck no. I'm good in my space. Whether it's up or down, I'll figure shit the fuck out. So me and her was talking, and this is our most recent one yesterday, and we was like communicating. She's like, oh, thank you, cuz, for at least explaining to me, blah, 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 blah. And this, that, and the third. And then somehow it changed over to, you know, her being strong because of the way she had to live her life. And all men are degenerates. Women was here first. It just transitioned to this whole weird thing, basically saying like, oh, when my daughter turns 15, she's gonna make the same decisions basically that she made, or that most Western women are making, that don't have fathers present that's teaching them right from wrong, natural law from this demonic system and structure that's going on right now. And you know, I could communicate past some things, but we hadn't talked in months, and I already told you why I stopped talking to you. Now you communicating with me again, but you talking to me on that same vibration, and I got too much shit going on to be taking in unintentional, intentional, negative vibrations. Like, if you're gonna reach out to communicate with me and search me and find me and hit me from a random number, then at least you could do is be accountable. Take some accountability for why we stopped talking. I know that's something that most Western women don't do. I just like saying Western. I told you before because I don't want to keep saying demonic. We already know this is a demonic ass playbook. You know what I mean? But if it makes you feel less demonic by saying Western, take it and flow with it. But this is just the way I give the information. I understand the dynamics behind the whole thing. But as we communicating, you know what I mean? The conversation start getting a little bit more intense because she start turning up on me, and I'm trying to chill her out and soothe her down and calm her down. But as I'm even trying to do that, it's not working. So then I go to my next tactic. I'm about to just go ahead and be like, all right, well, I'm giving it the okay, the I, the K. When you're texting somebody and you don't really care for responding with a long sentence of words, you just text K, you know what I mean? They kind of get the message. This is what I was kind of doing in our communications. But as we winding it down, I could tell, because it was just going far, far, far south. And she started doing that little petty thing. I'm sitting here making a statement, and she's intentionally cutting me off after I had that conversation with her when we first got on the phone. So she cut me off about 3 times back to back, like doing that little kid thing. Like, you know, when you say, you trying to make a point like, hey, can we go here? I'm not touching you. I want to go here, but I'm not touching you. Yeah, but I just want to go, but I'm not touching you. You're cutting me off to make these irrelevant points when you could just listen and let me finish, but you're trying to be demonic. When she did it the 3rd, 4th time, I hung up on her. And I blocked the number again immediately, so you cannot text me and send me no weird vibrations. Most of the time when I have those situations, I don't even open the message, because if I see it, I intake it. We feed ourselves through our eyes, through our mouth, and through our ears. So I understand, like, as soon as I see it, my body and my spirit is going to process it. I have to work my energy and motion, do that little thing that I do within, and then I can push it off to the side. It don't matter if I say it out loud. That's still a process I have to go through from within. So I just got off the phone and blocked her again. You know what I mean? I don't need that kind of energy in my life, especially if I'm very straightforward with my communication. I'm always open and straightforward with my communication. And it just put me in a space of understanding, like, how much these beings go out their way to try to lower your vibration and to get you to sabotage yourself, or for them to assist in sabotaging you. Like, it wasn't no physical damage done there, but we all understand that words are spells and spells are real, and you're trying to cast these spells on the phone with me as if I'm unaware and unknowledgeable of what's actually happening. Motherfucker, we ain't talked in months. I was cool. You didn't have to hit me up ever again, but you sought me out. You went all the way out your way to find me, to give me this vibration. Now I'm gonna have to block you again. You know what I mean? And it's just weird how hard they work at staying in those boxes, in those spaces, when they're extremely unhealthy and unprogressive and they aren't going anywhere. You know what I mean? If I didn't have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 going on over here, I probably would have been able to manage that energy better. But I just had a bunch of other witches that I was just, it's not a bunch because I already removed a lot. It was probably only like another 2 or 3 that was like wiggling around me, or zombie bots, whatever y'all want to call. I don't give a damn what name they got. All I know is it's a bunch of people moving around not in their natural state. You can be in survival mode and still be a righteous being in your natural state. You know what I mean? You don't have to be somebody who is, you know, backbiting, that's snaky, that's toxic, you know, that's just doing all these low-level, low-vibrational things. You don't have to do that. You can go to some of the places around the world and see some of the people that don't have all the money in the world, but I guarantee you their morals and values is going to stand up a lot more solid than a lot of these beings and people that we have around on this side, you know. And I've already dealt with people finding me here through what I do now, you know, and I'm giving this knowledge. People, oh, yeah, I like the work that you do, you know, I'm spiritually connected too, you know. And they reach out, they start communicating, engaging as if they tapped in, and then they showing me how unaware and untapped in they are. A lot of them beings are in la-la land. They in la-la land. They trying to do things backwards. And they trying to play the gray area when you moving with Source and the Creator, you're not going to be able to play both sides of the fence. And even when you're moving with the demonic team, they won't allow you to play both sides of the fence. So it's just keeping these things in mind. Like, a lot of beings are going out their way to do whatever they can to lower our vibration, to get our attention, to do all these things that is beneficial to them, but is detrimental to us. You know what I mean? But I ain't want to run it up too long. Be mindful of these things. You know, don't. It's not always going to be love when somebody reaches out to you. The first thing she said when we was engaging was, oh, what's up, cuz? Oh, you know I love you. Come on, cuz. You know I love you. You my cuz. Like, we grew up together. Like, all of that shit, none of that shit matters. Because I got enough real shit going on in real lifetime that I'm not going to be taking it. None of them vibrations. I'll be a dickhead to the day I move on to my next journey if that's what I got to deal with. You know what I mean? We all got to keep these things in mind, you know. I know it's all about being cute and polite and being nice and all of that shit, but I ain't no doormat, you know what I mean? And I don't just accept anything because I have morals, principles, and standards and values that I set for myself. And soon as certain things, if a man disrespect me, his shit gonna get checked. And he knows there's a chance of physical violence. If a female disrespects me, it has to be worked out in words, and I have to pull away, leave, and do other things because the physical isn't gonna be there. You know what I mean? So it's different tactics. I cannot engage with a man in that manner the same way I would a female in that manner. I don't care how gangster you think you are still a female to me at the end of the day, and I know I could do some damage. So I would never, ever, ever do that in a million years. You know what I mean? But I ain't want to run up too long. Tapping everything down below. Peace and love to the King of Kings.